People have used a lot of words to describe me. Passionate. Hungry. Obsessed. They've been a part of me since the beginning. But they don't define me. Here I come, world. Here I come. And even though all those words led up to one more that has a nicer ring to it.
Way to go, Chow! Way to go, Chow! Way to go, Chow!
Even that doesn't define me. The way I see it, life is a test. You're gonna fall. Yeah! But are you gonna get up? That's what defines you, not words. What I'm gonna do, quit? I'm gonna quit? Hello? That's not even in my vocabulary. And the only thing that matters is preparing for the next test. In the off season, I come here every morning at 5:30 a.m. sharp. This beach, this spot, to exercise my mind, my body, and my soul. Every major decision I've made has been made with the sound of the waves crashing in my ears. And I was standing right here when I made the one that changed my life. I was sitting and I was just looking out the ocean. I had talked to Chauncey and he was like, "No, dude, this is it. This your opportunity. You've been talking about you want to win. This is it right here." And I was like, nah, why can't they? And I was still fighting it.
Kevin Garnett was at a crossroads. He had been a Minnesota Timberwolf for 12 years. It was the only team he'd ever known, and he seemed destined to play there for good. But things had changed, and he was thinking about leaving.
And I was sitting right at the beach, and I was just like, I'm finna do this. I'm finna do this. Man, I'm about to leave Minnesota. And that was probably one of the hardest things up until this date that I've had to do.
Some big news, and we begin with the big ticket. That's right, Kevin Garnett officially a member of the Boston Celtics.
Yeah, that's what's up, dude.
In Boston, KG would join perennial All-Stars Ray Allen and Paul Pierce, forming what would come to be known as the Big Three.
When I seen him, I was like, is this surreal or what? And Ray was like, man, this is surreal.
Smile.
All right, now
You need a serious one, then the smile.
There we go.
He was excited to have a chance to win, and I think that Ray and Paul gave him a renewed hope, and he seemed like a little kid.
I reached out to Paul's 4 phones and left a message on all 4. Luckily, Ray had 2 phones, and he immediately called me back. And
I didn't recognize the area code.
You know, number 5. I'm a strong believer in try to put the past to the side and focus on what you have, and then embrace it and go forward. And that's what I did. I wouldn't go that far to say that we're the team to beat, because we still have things to prove. We still have to work on chemistry and bonding. I can say that we're going to be a force to reckon with. I will say that. First footprints in the sand. I need to have this whole beach to myself every morning. They say that no matter how hard you work, There's always someone, somewhere, working harder than you. Guess what? I'm that someone. You know, I don't remember the first time when this motivation revealed itself, but I also don't remember when it didn't.
Kevin Garnett's journey began in the small town of Malden, South Carolina.
Growing up in South Carolina was the South. Very humble, very simple. A lot of respect, a lot of, you know, you was raised with manners. You was raised to do things 100%. And growing up was fun for me, you know, because, you know, everything that you thought about being a kid, you know, riding bikes, you know, how the park used to be, having friends, break dancing. I used to jump in the dumpsters and pull out the boxes and spray paint them and paint the boxes up and take it up to Blythe Elementary. And they'd be out there break dancing. We put our box down and go out there. When I think about South Carolina, everything was pure. Everything meant something to you.
Kevin lived with his two sisters and his mother, Shirley, who would set a strong example for her children from the very beginning.
My mom's now worked in hotels, and if anybody knows what the graveyard shift is, it's the third shift, and it was 12 hours, 6 to 6, and watching her come in every day doing that, but at the same time raising 3 kids was more than inspiration.
She was a single mom, so, you know, a lot of chores were put on us because she had to work and, you know, provide for us.
Saturday, Sunday was a given that we was definitely going to clean the house up and clean the whole house, not parts of it, but the whole house.
She owned a hair salon, and we used to help out there doing the towels, sweeping the hair off the floor.
Then when it got cold, that's when I first learned how to chop wood, and so we knew what work was very early in our lives.
Shirley was a tough mother. She was always on him. She was, you know, just like a parent should be. You know, if he got out of line, she put him back in line. She brought Kevin up with a lot of pride, brought him up respecting himself and being a man.
My mother raised us with a mindset of no one's going to give you anything, and if you want anything, you have to go out and work hard for it.
Drawing upon the lessons he had learned from his mom, Kevin would apply them to basketball and to his lofty aspirations.
The young dreams of Kevin Garnett, I want to be Magic Johnson to the point where I can see it, you know, where I could open my eyes one day and be like, man, I want to be like Magic. But I couldn't really play.
It makes me smile because I remember the little kid that was walking around, you know, trying to get in the gym to play.
He was a tall kid for 12. It was kind of funny because he was a little lanky, so, and he was real skinny, he didn't have any size. Guys used to laugh at him, you know, once again, he was 6'6", he could barely dunk. You know, he was growing too fast. His body was like leaving his ability.
I could always take my ball and I could always just go and disappear, be whoever it was I wanted to be. I was able to just go and just dream and dream big, and that's the first time I began to really take basketball serious.
8 o'clock in the morning, he had a basketball in his hand coming down the street. It was like early in the morning. Most people sleep.
Expect you to get up with him.
Yeah, expect you to get up with him, go to the to the park. He pretty much slept with the basketball.
I remember I got home one evening and I heard a basketball bouncing at midnight. And there was this tall, lanky kid outside dribbling the basketball in the dark. You know, and it was amazing to see this kid out there doing it because he couldn't see the basketball.
He was at Springfield Park all the time, whether it's a bunch of folks or by himself, just shooting. And he was very serious. He had this saying is, between the line, it's about the business. So when the guys came around, they knew they was gonna play and they were gonna be serious at playing.
But while basketball had become an all-consuming passion for Kevin, his mom had her own ideas on how he should be spending his time.
My mom was all about education first. She wanted me to become something more than a basketball player, so the education was what she was pushing. Finally, when my mom said, no, you're not playing no ball.
She didn't want him playing any kind of sports or anything like that, and he kind of did it without letting her know.
I enjoyed it so much that, you know what? Well, nothing gonna stop me. Nothing. I know what the consequences are if I get caught, whether I got an ass whipping for it or whatever. And I used to put my bag outside on the other side of the bushes, because you used to have to go through some bushes to my yard. Okay, Mom, hey, I'm gone. And zoom out the front, go around the back, grab my bag, and I had my uniform and my shoes in there. And I used to take the little shortcut up and go to the high school.
I kept, keep barking dogs in my yard. And, he realized that the dogs sometimes can interrupt his sneaking out. And he would feed the dogs. He would throw food to the dogs or something to quiet them down so they wouldn't bark at him. So, he was pretty clever.
But he wasn't quite as clever as his mother.
He had a game, and one of her customers told her that, "Are you going to the game tonight? Kevin's playing." And she goes, "Kevin's playing where?" And so she said, "The basketball game, the high school game." And she was like, "Kevin doesn't play basketball." And she was like, "Shirley, your son plays basketball. He's the best player on the team." So she leaves, go to the game, and he's playing, and some kind of way he caught eye of her and she caught eye of him, and they kind of gave each other the look. So she found the seat thinking, oh, this is going to be short and sweet. I can't wait to get him home. And I guess from seeing him play, the reaction of the fans and, just the crowd, she was, was amazed.
For her to see what he was doing at that time and what it meant to him, it was like good for the family. It was like she got brighter, everything got brighter, even the neighborhood got brighter. You could see something special happen.
It was almost overnight. The switch came on, instant. It was almost like a star was born.
He was a leader. He just made everybody play to a higher level than what they were already, just like riding a star, because he never quit. I've never seen anybody that put that much into the game of basketball.
With his mother now firmly behind him, there was nothing to hold Kevin back. But his skills had outgrown the courts of South Carolina, and his mom would move the family to Chicago, where a country kid would get a heavy dose of urban reality.
You're talking about a 16, 17-year-old kid having to pick up from South Carolina from this small community and moving to Chicago. Plus being around your friends all your life and then all of a sudden not knowing anybody was tough, mentally tough.
Chicago was like being in hell. There's so much you gotta know, there's so much you gotta be, you gotta be on your P's and Q's about the inner city, man. The city is fast, and coming from, slow South Carolina, protected, having a foundation, you come from that and then come up to starting over from the bottom.
And the tough city streets brought out the toughness in Kevin.
The passion, the domination to bite his head off and don't look back, all that came into play when I got to Chicago.
Right, couldn't put it back in. There you go.
It gave me attitude. That's when I got the growl and the vengeance. Everything about standing up for your own, not backing down, all that came into play when I got to Chicago. Once I got through that year, I knew that I could survive anything. I think everybody goes through something in life that makes them who they are in the present, and that's what that was for me.
By 1995, every college in the country wanted KG, but he had other plans.
He was in Chicago and he called me. It was after school. And he was like, I think I'm going to write a letter to David Stern and put my name in the hat. And that was it.
I'd like to thank all you for attending my press conference today. As you all know, I declared myself eligible for the NBA draft. I made my decision to declare myself for the draft to keep all my options open.
There was a lot of people that doubted him because it hadn't been done in such a long time. People thought, oh, you're making this kid, bigger than he really is.
When you take on responsibility at an early age, you understand what it takes to get to the next step.
If I put everything I have into this and do this the right way, it's got to work out in some ways, some shape, form, or fashion. It's got to work out. So I was like, it's worth a try.
We get the 5th pick in the 1995 draft. 12 years later, the Boston Celtics select Kevin Garnett.
What are we looking at again? Hey, what's my motivation?
In Boston, Kevin joined Paul Pierce and Ray Allen on a team that had won just 24 games the year before. All three were in search of their first championship, and they faced their share of doubters.
All three of them have had great individual success. Now, how do they come together and be a championship team right in the first season?
Your initial thought is, you know, we're going to be inconsistent at the beginning, we're going to struggle early, we're going to have our ups and downs.
I don't think that they'll go to the championship.
I agree with Magic. I'm still going to stick with New Jersey to win the East. That's my pick.
Kevin had gone through a lot through his career trying to win. Everyone had told him, you know, everywhere you read, Kevin Garnett can't win the big one, Kevin Garnett can't win the championship.
He's going to be eating up your salary cap for the next 5 years, and I'm not sure this is a guy that gets you over the top.
The new-look Celtics would be holding their training camp in Europe.
I'm starving right now, dog. I drink my cappuccino with my pinky out.
Hey, that's a nice picture treat.
And with 9 new players on their roster, the trip would provide a perfect opportunity to get acquainted.
They had that ring on.
We went over to Rome, and that was the best thing that ever happened to us because we wasn't in the States. We was all alone with us, having to figure out each other, and we just naturally bonded.
Let me get that navy. Let me get this brown. Give us full.
It's like you, huh? Modern
Hoorah! Hoorah! Yeah, we right there. Ain't on my crew.
It's only right that we go to the Coliseum Gladiator. It's only right.
We ventured throughout the city together. We got lost together. We were on a different time zone, so we couldn't sleep. So we spent a lot of nights just playing cards, just sitting on the steps, just talking.
Guys, it's going to be a little hard. We're going to try to stop traffic, then just keep your eyes on me the whole time.
We embraced each other to the point where who cares what these critics say? As long as we together, as long as we stay together and understand what the goal is, man, we can do anything we put our minds to it.
What an atmosphere here in Boston for the Celtics home opener.
We're all brothers, fellas. Everybody together. It's a journey right here. No matter what.
Man, let's get it done today, fellas. Let's get it done.
No, we know how we do it.
Let's go.
Stay together.
Celtic! Hoorah! Celtic! Hoorah! Celtic! Hoorah! 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2.
He's in a new place, and he's the kind of person that wants to prove to the people here that, you know, he's worthy, and of course he's going to be rejuvenated.
Kevin Garnett, after 12 years at Minnesota, a new life here with the Celtics. Garnett with the rejection. Throws it right back at Arenas.
The Celtics clicked right from the start, with KG leading the way.
Impressive win for the Celtics once again.
I thought it was really important to get off to a good start because that would allow them to buy in. If your best player buys in, then you have a chance to coach your team. He bought in, and then he did it harder than everyone else.
For the loose ball.
He was a 13-year veteran and a 10-time All-Star, but KG still played as if every game was his last.
Whenever you work hard, man, it's no different from someone punching in 9 to 5. My thing was no different from that.
Blocked by Garnett.
Celtics streak is alive. 8 in a row to begin the NBA season.
You knew about his passion, you knew he was a hard worker, but not at that level, you know, where you see it every single day. Every day in practice. Before practice, after practice. It's non-stop. And the guys are motivated by that to go out there and try to be the best.
I literally had to shorten some of my practices because I knew he wouldn't come out, and that was the only way I can get him to sit down.
You see that he never takes a play off. He'll take charges. He'll sacrifice his body first to the floor.
You've got your best player diving on the floor.
And I think that intensity drives your team to a whole different level.
The Boston Celtics will improve to an NBA best, 13-2.
They don't want to play no pick and roll game. We got to keep moving the ball.
He radiates such intensity that it is impossible for it not to wear off on the other players. He has just changed a culture here within the team.
Pass deflected by Eddie House, kicked off by Pierce. Ray Allen for the game. Got it at the buzzer.
The Celtics made a statement to their skeptics by winning 20 of their first 22 games, matching the best start in franchise history.
Yeah! Come on, G's.
In this game,
Come on, G's.
there's always critics. And their job is to cast doubt. It started as a whisper. He can't do it. He's too young. He needs time. And if you listen, it becomes louder. This league is for men. Picks up steam. He's just a kid. It was 1995, and I was starting my rookie year in the NBA. The critics couldn't wait for me to fail. But in the ocean of skeptics, you only need one believer.
Kevin was 3 weeks removed from his high school prom. And while most kids were getting ready for college, he was preparing for the NBA draft, looking to become the first player in over 2 decades to jump from high school straight to the pros.
Mikhail and I went and watched him work out. We went with the idea, there were 4 great players in that draft. KG was the high school player, which is kind of an unknown. But you had Stackhouse, you had Rasheed Wallace, you had Joe Smith, you had McDyess. So we kind of went into seeing KG work out, telling people we're going to take this high school kid at number 5, thinking that maybe we'll kind of spur some interest and someone will gamble on him above us and we'll get one of those other 4 players. And so after we watched him work out for 5 minutes, we looked at each other and we just said, we better hope he's here at number 5.
Next up, we've got the Minnesota Timberwolves. They have the number 5 pick in the draft. What do they look for here, Hubie?
You want to get here a talent for the future, a person who has a lot of upside, a lot of potential. Do they go for Garnett?
We wanted to take him badly, but believe me, you were sitting around thinking of all the reasons you probably shouldn't.
All of a sudden, these cameras just came around me, and I was just like, what's going on? My agent at the time looked at me and said, showtime. And I was like, what?
Let's go down to the podium. The commissioner is ready with the number 5 pick in the draft.
Sweetest phrase to this day with the 5th pick in the 1995 draft.
The Minnesota Timberwolves select Kevin Garnett from Farragut Academy in Chicago.
If you see my face, I'm almost like wiping my face. I'm like, I can't even, like, wow, this is surreal. This is surreal. And then the walk up there felt like somebody had picked me up and I was floating. And it shook David Stern's hand, and I shook his hand so much that I was just smiling so hard that I was, that whole thing was a blur.
Ready or not? That was the big question. Why do you think you are ready for the big transition, the step from high school to the NBA?
One reason I think I'm ready is because I work so hard. And I know the NBA is just another level of hard work. And I'm set for that step.
In the 6-year history of the expansion Timberwolves, the team had never had a winning record.
See, Minnesota trying to keep from losing 60 ball games this year for the 4th consecutive year.
And patience was running out.
I thought it was a huge gamble. This was a team that needed help quickly. And so you bring in a kid from high school when that had not been done in 20 years, and you thought, well, we're going to be waiting 4 or 5 years before Kevin Garnett is really at a point where he can help this team.
He was a skinny little kid, couldn't have weighed more than a $175 wet coming in, and he was thrown to the Wolves.
Here comes Garnett. Buckle up for Garnett, and this is the breakaway champ.
At the start, it appeared Garnett's critics might be right, but there were some things the critics didn't know.
Kevin had that burning desire that he was never going to fail. Other people thought that he might not make it, but there was never any doubt in his mind.
Good job, Kevin.
People thought I was going to go 3 years and be out the league, you know, or a couple years, or maybe make it here and there and be out. No, you know, they didn't know the drive that was within.
And it wasn't just the critics who were coming after him.
We beat Kevin unmercifully in practice. We took shots at him, we hit him. Never said a word. Never always picked himself up, and he played harder.
That's it good, KJ. That's it working. That's it good. That's it good, KJ.
Sam crafty, and them vets, they use a lot of fakes, a lot of patience, and they let you really kill yourself. And that used to drive me crazy.
He got beat up, he got knocked down, he got bloodied, but KG was one of those guys that never let the other person see that he got the best of him, even at that young age.
Here I come, world. Here I come.
Kevin would quickly adjust to the pro game, and at just 19 years old, he started to make his presence felt around the league.
He's doing it all. Porter back to Garnett. Kevin Garnett has just electrified this arena. Bobby Garnett, the jam. Oh, Kevin, have mercy.
You just couldn't slow him down. He was just like an energy bunny. I mean, he was all over the place. He was excited.
This lob up top to Kevin Garnett, and the young high school phenom knocks it down.
Saves it to Garnett. 2-on-1, Garnett. Oh, my goodness. High school or college, that's an NBA. Send it in.
It was fascinating to watch. You saw a star being born before your eyes.
It's just amazing that a 19-year-old kid can be this dominating.
You could see that once he learned what this league was all about, that he was going to be a special player, and it happened pretty fast.
Garnett takes it away from Elijah Watt. You may be seeing the birth of a superstar tonight.
Ready, go.
In a very short time, KG had won over his teammates and developed a special bond with veteran Sam Mitchell.
He absorbed everything. Every time you would tell him something, it's like he would look you straight in the eye. He was like, okay. And then he'd go out and do it. He got it.
Good D, man. Hey, keep him out of there.
Sam would always stay in my ear. Always stay in my ear. You want to be the best? Let me see it. You want to come in here and work hard? Are you working really hard? Are you really working hard? He stayed on my ass so much I thought he was skinned.
Kevin called me dad. But we're like friends in that kind of way.
Sam Mitchell, man. It's my dad right here, yo.
I wanted him to do well so bad. I started caring more about him and his basketball than I cared about my career. We were at the halfway point of the season, and I was the starter. So I walked on the court, grabbed Flip, and said, Flip, I think you need to start KG. I'm not throwing in the towel. I'm going to push this kid on, work hard every day. I said, but for us to go where we want to go, to be a playoff team one day, he's got to start.
It could be a historic night because Kevin Garnett, all 19 years, 7 months of him, is going to get his first NBA start tonight.
I made him a starter and played really well, and I can remember that when I took him out, he thanked me for starting him and playing him. you know, at that point, and basically saying you're having trust in him. And I says, well, you know, you're going to start for a long time.
Hey, Kevin, way to go, baby. These people in LA, they don't know yet. They gonna learn, though.
Still just a teenager, Kevin would finish his rookie year as the starter. He was known as the Kid, and his boyish enthusiasm captivated the league.
My younger years, man, I actually enjoyed just being young and being a kid, man. It was just pure fun.
And KG's future now seemed unlimited. While the Celtics had gotten off to a 20-2 start, Kevin Garnett wasn't about to let up. As his old mentor Sam Mitchell had done for him a decade earlier, Kevin now took the younger Celtics under his wing.
The story that epitomizes KG was he came in and he lifted for about an hour and a half and got his weight workout in. And then he goes out and gets all his shots up, goes through his shooting routine, and then he goes to practice. Goes through a hard practice, then he gets shots up after practice. And then after his routine, then he went down for 45 minutes and was rebounding for Rajon Rondo and getting him his shots.
Don't go to me in my head.
You kind of get a taste of greatness every day. He's helped tremendously on and off the court, the mental aspect, the work ethic. He puts life situations in metaphors to make you realize what's going on here. You know, you can see even deeper.
Hey, keep talking on the pick and roll. You the bottom, slide over 2-9-2-9. He gonna come till you come back, all right?
I think he understood how important every one of the pieces were to our team.
He's laughing at Big Baby all fired up.
When we was going through the season,
I had sat and watched Rondo get better.
This is sensational.
I had watched how Perk had matured. I had watched how Leon and Big Baby grew in their own little ways.
The follow is good, and Boston wins it.
I was just sitting back, just watching how he was growing.
Perk, the early spot on Dallenberg. Oh, good. The Celtics head for the All-Star break with the best record in the NBA.
I had proven that I belonged in the NBA. But to me, it wasn't about that. I only cared about one thing: winning. And with my second season about to begin, the Timberwolves added a player that was going to help me do that. But he was more than a teammate. He was a best friend. And we had plans to write our own history.
His rookie year, he was given an opportunity to play and get in the games and learn from his mistakes. And then the next summer, he really worked hard on his game, then came in a little bit more vocal, a little bit more confident. And when you're putting in the type of work he did, you're gonna get better.
After only 1 year, Kevin Garnett seemed destined for stardom. And to make things even brighter, Minnesota would draft one of his closest friends, Stephon Marbury.
Steph and I, when we was younger, we used to talk on the phone. Whether he called me, I called him. We were both running up our mom's phone bill. Now we're both in the league. We're on the same team. It was best time of my life.
From the second they took the court, it was as if they had played together for years.
They were kind of the yin and yang of what you were looking for. Kevin was an exuberant guy who loved to play.
Marbury into the big ticket and the slam.
Steph was a little bit more New York City, a little more edgy.
They switched up. Stephon goes behind the back, inside. Oh! Stephon pulled the Houdini.
Between the two of them, their center was really kind of where you want your players to be.
About to turn it up. Me and KG about to turn it up.
Gugliana in transition, goes for Marbury, taps it for Garnett.
Oh, what a pass! The crowd is on their feet.
KG bringing the noise, bringing the funk to the Target Center.
Each night, someone did something magical, but that's how you was feeling, man. You was feeling like, can no one out here stop me or you or us? Man, let's just go out here and have some fun.
Marbury in the air, Steph.
There you go! Oh, baby! That's why you have players like Stephon Marbury on your team.
He had the flash, he had the flair, you know? He had the whole New York swag with it, you know? And that's how we work, you know? It's almost like the country mouse and the city mouse.
Hey, you and Muggsy looking at each other, go straight up. Straight up, dog. You and Muggsy looking right eye to eye. Boy, I said, damn, Stephon 5'9", man. Like this on Muggs.
Oh! And the big ticket just punched one home. Here comes Minnesota.
Behind Marbury and Garnett, the Wolves were rolling. And just 1.5 seasons removed from high school, Garnett would be named to his first All-Star team.
The youngest man since Magic Johnson to make an All-Star team, Kevin Garnett.
He's 20 and he's going on 21.
Thanks, man. Okay, man. Won't wash this hand. Won't wash this hand for a long time. I'm gonna put this hand up.
It just seemed like one day I was getting yelled at. The next day, you know, I'm starting. Then after that, Steph comes and I was starting, and it was like this.
Woo! And Kevin Garnett showing the outside touch.
And it's me.
That is his first All-Star field goal.
It was like, man, this is really fun. Like, I understand the hard part of this.
Woo! Like I'm in the highlight.
But this is the fun part right here. This is why we play right here.
It was great, baby. Everything what I expected. Yeah! We got here, baby. Back to Minneapolis.
KG, of course, became an all-star. Steph played at an extremely high level as far as for a rookie.
Marbury breaks down the defense again. There's the power rip. And the T-Wolves have got this crowd dancing in Minnesota.
And we became a playoff team in the second year.
The Wolves had struggled to get to 20 wins the year before, but in 1997, Garnett led them to the playoffs for the first time in franchise history. And though they would be swept by the Houston Rockets in the first round, they made a strong impression on the rest of the league.
A great showing by the young T-Wolves in their first playoffs ever, but the Rockets just had too much firepower and experience.
Charles Barkley afterwards embraced them both and told them, there's something special here, stay together. This is a team that's going to win some championships.
We felt like we keep working, man, we're gonna win this, man. We was probably young, naive kids that thought that, but hell, the old famous saying is that if you can see it, you can be it.
Line up. Jacques, you go first. Everyone's got one shot. Anyone makes a half-court shot, we're done.
We knew that what we was trying to do was bigger than us, and we was willing to work as hard as we had to get there.
Everything was going right in Minnesota. Having arrived as a playoff team, the once lowly Timberwolves now had championship aspirations. The next season, Garnett and Marbury would lead Minnesota back to the postseason. And as they combined their talents, the young duo seemed well on their way to greatness.
We felt that we had the next Stockton and Malone, that those guys would be able to play together for a long, long time and win a lot of games together.
For 2.5 years, they appeared to have the perfect marriage. But beneath the surface, their relationship was showing signs of strain.
Kevin Garnett was a perfect complementary player to Stephon Marbury. He was a superstar big man who didn't care about scoring. He would have gladly deferred to Stephon Marbury to be the name above the marquee, to be the star. And that is what Steph really seemed to crave.
Kevin and Steph had become the co-faces of the franchise, and all of a sudden, you had one of them saying, hey, I want out, I don't want to be there anymore.
I'm still trying to digest a massive, massive trade. Stephon Marbury is going back home to New Jersey, the New York area.
It's going to be interesting to see how Kevin Garnett is motivated without his pal, Stephon Marbury.
He knocked on my door. He was like, yo, I just got traded. And I looked at him, and I was like, wow. And he was actually excited. That was a tough day. When Steph left, it left a bitter taste in my mouth just because I thought Steph and I would play forever. It made me a little hard a little bit, to the point where I didn't want to put all my trust in something that wasn't going to give it back.
When Kevin Garnett first came to Boston, he knew of the storied history of the franchise. But now, having been a member of the team for over half a season, he had begun to understand what it truly means to be a Celtic.
I'm a student of the game. In order to go forward, you got to know where you come from and those who have done it before you.
The Celtics win their 16th NBA championship.
He came up to acknowledge me, he told me I was the MVP in championship series. He knows history of basketball, and he knows his place in the history of basketball is going to be identified by him winning the championship.
And Kuzie's got the ball. He throws it straight up in the air. It's all over. And there they go. They've won it again.
I didn't want to let down any of the prior Celtics that's come through and put that jersey on. I know the responsibility that comes with that. I felt that. I embraced that. I put my arms around that.
I always said you were my favorite player to watch.
I don't know.
You never disappointed.
Crack so many jokes, I don't know if that's real or not.
No, it's real.
I'm joking.
And you never disappointed.
Hey.
And you finally got it right.
I finally got it right. Good to see you, man. I'll see you tomorrow.
Okay. Take care.
Cool. This franchise gets me. Here's an organization that understands everything I am.
I think that you're going to win at least 2 or 3 championships here. And if you don't, but I see you playing the way you should play, I'll share one of mine with you.
I'm proud of being in an organization that's so profound and so full of tradition like the Celtics.
With constant reminders of the team's glorious history all around them, the new generation of Celtics came to realize the importance of adding their own chapter.
When you come into the Celtics facility, it's a bunch of banners that go around, and it wraps around. And it wraps around so much that after 86, it's an empty space, and there's a big spotlight on that space.
And every time I didn't think we were practicing as a championship team, I would blow the whistle and I would have them look at that spot.
And he'll go like this. And just look right up there. And it did something to you. And he would just look up there and it would tick us off. It would tick us off so much that as soon as we get back into practice went from here to a whole nother level. It brought back memories of when Sam Mitchell and Steph and all of us used to practice. It brought that love back, but it was different, man. It was different. When guys was for you, they was for you. And as the season went on and it grew, that grew with us. I've never been out with 8 or 9, 10 of my teammates. Usually go out one, it's maybe 3 of y'all. Man, it was like 8 or 9 of us when we went places.
The team did things together. They were an actual group. You saw them on the road. I'd see 9 guys going to a movie or And you can hear them on the bus the next day all talking about what they did the night before as a group.
Well, I only know how to act like this, yo.
It was scary. It was scary, man. Being honest, it was scary. It was scary because I was like, no way we getting along like this so fast.
Hey, man. Carry these shoes, man.
I've been in the NBA
Hey, man, look here, man. They ain't got nothing to do with this. We just had a interview class the other day. And we got to talk about his you-knows. Man, carry these shoes.
I'm a grown man. I'm older.
Carry me in the locker room.
Carry me in the locker room. I'll carry you in the locker room.
Did I say that many times? You know. Did I? Did I? You know. You said it a couple times to him, but I'm gonna let you have it, you know? You know. You know?
And as the Celtics' bond off the court continued to grow tighter, it would only strengthen the chemistry on the court that was becoming the hallmark of their success.
To carry that mentality out and be able to trust someone wholeheartedly, knowing that, if I get beat, I know he's there, and vice versa. Like, I've never had that before. I never had that before. Never.
Rejected by Kevin Garnett. Knocks it off to Rondo. Here's a 3-on-2. Allen licking up a 3 and puts it right down the middle.
He's trying to embark into his teammates' team unity, because he knows that that's what it's going to take to get to that highest level.
Boston a chance to take the lead. Garnett outside Cassell to Pierce. Pierce driving to the basket to KG. To Sam's going to take it. Got it!
The Boston Celtics have swept the Texas Triangle.
Way to take us home, baby.
Not only did we embrace each other,
Let's take us home, baby.
but I think the city embraced us. The whole New England area embraced us. It was all one family.
What a difference he's made with this basketball team, and the excitement kind of reminds you back in the old days.
Well, he's turned this town on.
Knocked away. Ball game. Kevin Garnett.
Sounds a little like the old Garden in here.
It's awesome now.
It's fantastic. It's like a new breath.
KG has brought a whole new attitude to the city.
28 seconds. Here's back to Garnett, top of the key. Kevin Garnett is cold-blooded. Yeah, you better get on his back. The whole city of Boston is going to get on Kevin Garnett's back. As the chant of MVP echoes throughout the arena.
Tonight was rocking, man. Whew. Kept trying to, center myself, but man, I couldn't even help it. This place was rocking. Man. Damn, this man. Go ahead, yo, man.
This Boston Celtics team is on the verge of becoming the greatest single-season turnaround in NBA history, and it's all about Kevin Garnett.
What a great blessing he was to the city of Boston. This town was on fire. And he won them over just with his passion and his energy, and then became a Boston all-time favorite.
The Boston Celtics, they go to 66-16, the best record of the NBA, third best record in the history of the franchise.
In the NBA, you get close to your teammates quickly. During the season, you see them more than you see your own family. They become family. That's why it's so hard when they leave. Especially when you don't get to say goodbye.
Well, this is the Bronx. This is where I grew up. Right here, this is Valentine Avenue. This is basically where everything started for me.
In the early 1990s, Malik Sealy was a college star at St. John's, playing with a flair that caught the eye of a young KG.
Malik had me wanting to go to St. John's and wear the red and be a Redman.
Kevin wore the same number as his boyhood idol, and in 1999, they became teammates.
Kevin and I relationship was like father-son. Malik and Kevin were brothers, best friends. Malik was just that perfect fit for him. Around the same age, same interests. It filled another void for Kevin. You know, it gave him somebody to hang out with, someone to enjoy things with.
When Steph left, one thing I did, I closed off a little bit. I didn't really want to be close to nobody on the team. And Malik's first year, we weren't really that close. One day, he asked me to go to dinner, and we went to dinner, and that's where the friendship started. And I started to confide in him a little more and talk and open up, and it felt good to have what I felt like a real teammate around me.
Let's see, here comes Sealy, a three. He got it! Minnesota wins! Minnesota wins! An incredible, unbelievable shot from Malik Sealy.
Kevin was still kind of shy, didn't go out much, didn't do much, because people would be on him, and Malik was just like, screw that, man, let's go. And Malik brought Kevin out of that shell. Malik taught Kevin how to be comfortable with being a superstar.
I identified with Malik a little bit because I thought he had a little flair, some swag, so I mimicked that. Malik was obviously a little more younger than Sam, so he was into the pranks and the little things that made the whole NBA life fun.
Malik and KG had become the closest of friends, and on the night of May 19, 2000, they headed to a party to celebrate Kevin's 24th birthday.
When I walked in, it was like, surprise! And I was like, what? I'm like, what is this? And every person that was close to me was in there. Sam was in there, Malik was in there. After I went home and I got in the bed and I just sat there and I was like, man, God, thank you for this beautiful day. Thank you for this night, And I laid down and I'll never forget that. My aunt damn near kicked my bedroom door in. And I just remember she was telling me, she was like, something happened to Malik, you got to get up. And I was like, what?
Timberwolves guard, NBA veteran Malik Sealy died as a result of a head-on car collision in suburban Minneapolis. His sports utility vehicle was hit by a pickup truck which was going the wrong way on a highway. Sealy was returning from teammate Kevin Garnett's birthday party at the time of the crash.
I just seen him. She's like, Malik's dead. And when she said it, it felt like time had stopped. That's what that was. Give me a second, man. Damn.
Malik Sealy and Kevin Garnett were supposed to leave today for a vacation in Miami. Instead, Garnett spent Friday attending Sealy's funeral in New York.
I just felt like everything I got close to sort of drifted away a little bit. And it felt like life was just crumbling.
Kevin Garnett idolized Malik Sealy as a child. Now he was a teammate. The Timberwolves are concerned about how Kevin will deal with his death.
I use basketball to escape. I've always been able to turn to basketball in my weakest times. I can remember Malik always telling me to say, do what you do, man. And if you left it all out there on the floor, you can be proud of that.
The Celtics entered the 2008 playoffs with one goal in mind: winning the NBA championship.
When I say we had our sights set on one thing, we was truly had our sights set on one thing.
But before they began their quest for the ultimate team prize, Kevin took the spotlight to receive an individual honor.
And Kevin Garnett today was named the NBA's Defensive Player of the Year.
None of the awards, the accolades can ever be achieved without teammates. You know, as much as you make somebody else better, they times 10 make you better.
The Celtics had just finished a regular season where they had dominated the NBA. And heading into the playoffs, they had yet to be tested. So when they opened their first round series with the 8th-seeded Atlanta Hawks with 2 easy wins, it looked like they might breeze through the playoffs as well.
Bibby drives around Leonpo, hangs in the air. Here comes Garnett. Blocked by Garnett. Not in my house.
But to everyone's astonishment, the upstart Hawks won 3 of the next 4, battling the Celtics to a Game 7.
And the series everyone thought would be over in a heartbeat is going the distance.
Faced with their first test of the season, the Celtics would pass with flying colors in a Game 7 blowout.
Pierce behind the back to Garnett, scored and the foul. Hawks gave the Celtics everything they could handle. No one expected this one to go. These 7 games, and the Celtics now move on to round 2.
Next up for the Celtics would be the defending Eastern Conference champions, the Cleveland Cavaliers, and their dominating force, LeBron James.
10 on the shot clock, game time. Garnett drives, spins in the paint, hangs in the air. Big roll will fall. Celtics have the lead.
He was so focused. He got one of those oxygen tents and was staying in it for an hour a day.
Ball knocked away, Garnett diving on the floor. And then a turnover. Here comes Garnett. Here comes the roar. And a foul.
Once again, they found themselves in a hard-fought series that would be stretched to the limit.
Game 7, everybody on their feet. LeBron spinning on Garnett, steps back to his left. KG shuts him down. Zerbiak has it now, puts it to the floor. Garnett clean steal, he's off to the races. KG hangs in the air and gets fouled by Wally Zerbiak.
Oh, great play.
Give me Kevin Garnett any day of the week. He is an absolute winner. That'll do it. The Celtics are going to the Eastern Conference Finals. Back-to-back Game 7 wins for the Celtics.
As we advance, it does get a little more difficult. You know, Detroit's obviously been resting and they've been waiting. And we played probably 14 hard games, but more emotionally drained than anything.
The Eastern Conference Finals we have all been waiting for has arrived.
The Celtics were facing what loomed as their toughest challenge yet. The Detroit Pistons were in the conference finals for the 6th straight year, and they were all that stood between KG and his first trip to the NBA Finals.
We thought we can get past this hurdle, man. We have a good chance at winning this, but this is going to be a hell of a hurdle to jump.
Stolen away by Rondo. Celtics try to run. Rondo lead for Pierce. Has a step drop from the trailing. Big time flush with the right hand.
KG came out with his mind set on winning, and you know, we just followed him.
Rip Hamilton driving around Garnett. Long train-like arms blocks the shot.
In Game 2, the Pistons would hand the Celtics their first home loss of the playoffs. But Boston would respond, winning twice in Detroit to take the series in 6 games.
Back to Garnett for the slam.
Lindsey Hunter, my goodness, you have earned the right to be in the poster of KG.
They have taken the torch from the Eastern Conference standard bearers, and what 1 year ago was pure fantasy has now come true.
I was excited, but it wasn't happy. But it still was unfulfilled. My goal was not to win the conference finals. It was more than that.
Finally, this is what you came here for. Can you describe the feeling?
Hey, boy.
I love you, boy.
Way to play.
Kind of neutral, Michelle, you know.
Neutral?
Yeah, I am, because I know it's a whole nother goal at hand.
Let's go. Domination. That's what you should expect. To the finals. Losing in the playoffs makes you desperate to win. But winning makes you even hungrier. By the summer of 2000, I've been put to the test. My closest teammates, mentors, friends, all gone. I felt like the last man standing. But I had already learned that just when things seem their darkest, there's always light waiting to creep in.
His best friend Malik Sealy had died, and even his mentor Sam Mitchell had retired. But Kevin did what he's always done, pouring all his emotion into basketball. By 2003, he was established as a superstar, but all his personal accolades couldn't make up for the frustration he endured in the playoffs.
So now Minnesota, the only team to be eliminated in the first round, 6 consecutive seasons.
It did get old. It got old to cover because you knew that after the elimination game, we would wait and Kevin would trudge up to the front table and he would, be basically crushed.
Losing hurts. Losing hurts. Damn. What I'm gonna do, quit? I'm gonna quit?
Just frustrated as heck that he hadn't advanced, and it was starting to become a bit of a burden on his reputation.
But the additions of Sam Cassell and Latrell Sprewell would give Kevin the boost he needed.
Sprewell up to Kevin Garnett, who stuffs it home.
You put Kevin intensity, Spree passion in my mouth, you put that all in one big pot. That's an atomic bomb right there.
Alley-oop back to Kevin. Oh, baby! Woo!
Minnesota centers at Cassell. Down court spotting up Spree. Garnett extra touch to Zerbiak. Can you run a fast break better than that?
And in these two teammates, KG had also found a new set of soulmates.
We just stay after practice for 2 hours after practice, just sit in the locker room, talking about what we did the night before, talk about family, talk about all types of things.
Give me that mic, give me that mic. That's all you gotta do, little kid.
We just enjoy each other.
Minnesota would rise to the top of the West, and Garnett was at the heart of their success.
If we needed Kevin to go up in the stands and serve the popcorn, he'd have did it. If we needed him to be the ticket guy at the front door, he'd have did it. He was everything for that ball club.
They lob it to Garnett beneath the foul line. The fadeaway with a hand in his face in the air for the win! Yes, sir! Garnett gives Minnesota the win!
While Kevin was named the league MVP for 2004, a more important goal remained to be fulfilled.
Left wing, go to Kevin. He's going to drive. He's at the rack. And what a slam! The big ticket to the basket. Savor these words. For the first time in Wolves franchise history, the Timberwolves are on to the second round.
Get out of the first round, I felt like I had won the NBA championship.
Kevin Garnett walks off the floor knowing he has a date with the Sacramento Kings in the second round.
Freed from his playoff demons, Garnett and the Timberwolves would go the distance in their series with the Kings. And in Game 7, he delivered an epic performance.
Kevin's going to have to create, take the three, and he'll make it! What a fourth quarter for the MVP! Crossover, Weber, drive, and a slam! A memorable night continuing! This is a Michael Jordan-esque performance by Kevin Garnett.
And though they would ultimately lose to the Lakers in the conference finals, Kevin had shown the loyal fans in Minnesota that a championship was finally within reach.
It was my way of putting my arms around the city. Like, man, y'all been here since day one. I know it looked like times we wasn't gonna be nothing, but we here, we've arrived.
But his moment in the sun would turn out to be short-lived. After one more year in Minnesota, Cassell and Sprewell both departed, leaving Kevin to carry the team's fortunes on his shoulders, just as he had done years earlier.
Like with a snap of a finger, the team was just new. You know, here we are, was knocking on the door, and now we're struggling to make the playoffs.
It is the largest lead lost in franchise history by the Timberwolves.
At the age of 30, Kevin was no longer the kid, and the Timberwolves were right back where he had found them as a wide-eyed rookie in 1995, in the lottery.
I felt like it was my fault, because as the leader of this team, I know to stay aggressive for 48 minutes, and I felt like I got away from that and didn't lead properly, so very aggravated and kind of discouraged with that. I know better. So any more questions?
Kevin is a very passionate guy. Now, he's just not going to jump ship when the ship is, got a hole in it or it's rocking. But it's soak everything out of him. Like you got a rag and you're just twisting it and wringing it out.
You're putting the burden of this team on your shoulders, aren't you?
Started to be like a little more hard. You know, it's almost like I started to become a little more cold to the game. I really didn't see a lot to smile about, you know what I mean?
By 2007, rumors had begun to swirl that KG might be leaving Minnesota after 12 years as the face of the franchise.
I didn't want change, you know? I didn't want change at all. But it was a process in which I had to go through and realize that, you know what, it's time for you to move on.
Let's go Celtics! Let's go Celtics! Let's go Celtics!
Oh, are they ready here in the city of Boston? It seems like old times as the Lakers and Celtics battling again here in the NBA Finals.
10 months earlier, Kevin Garnett had come to the Celtics with the sole purpose of competing for a championship. And now, his time had come.
I picked my head up, and I took a blink, and I blinked again, and I see the Lakers right in front of me. And I got a patch on that says the NBA Finals. And I just remember seeing Larry Bird on this side and James Worthy and Magic on this side. And it about to go down. And the crowd before the game was like a jamboree, man.
The Beat LA chants started about an hour ago.
I was like, wow, I am in the Lakers-Celtics series for all the marbles.
He came out and played as if he had been waiting for this moment his entire life. Because he had.
Explode. Allen tied up, and Garnett has to go back. Able to save it to Brown, so it wasn't a backcourt violation. Cassell a jumper, pucks it in. Big play by Kevin Garnett. Celtics right now just dismantling the Lakers.
Garnett rebound, put back dunk. Oh, wow.
And Boston goes up 2-0 in the NBA Finals.
Everybody know why we're going to LA, right? Say no vacation. We're going out here to get us some wins. All right? Y'all hear what I'm saying?
We're going out here to find our trophy.
That's it.
Back home.
We know what we're going to LA for. Keep that in mind now. Straight up.
We won one, we won two. You know, through a series, as you get closer to 4, you feel it.
But in Los Angeles, the Celtics would lose Game 3 and found themselves down 24 points in Game 4.
Come on, guys! Keep fighting! Keep fighting! Keep fighting! Don't go way back, man!
When things didn't go well, there wasn't a lot of finger pointing, and I thought KG played a big part in that, in keeping guys together.
KG would simply not allow his team to give up.
Blocked on the way up by Kevin Garnett.
11 straight to close out the third for Boston. Garnett backs it in.
The Celtics are back to within 6.
Garnett got it. And the Celtics are back to tie the game.
And the Celtics went on to complete the greatest comeback in the history of the NBA Finals.
Garnett and gets the bounce.
And it's official. The Celtics have come back from a 24-point deficit. And they go up 3-1 and have a chance to wrap it up in Los Angeles in Game 5.
We got one more. When we got to 3, I really thought we was going to win in LA.
Game 5 would come down to the wire, and KG had his lifelong goal within his grasp.
Lakers up 95-93. Garnett, first free throw is in and out, no good.
You dream in that moment at the free throw line. You know, when I'm running the beach and I stop, I envision myself right there at the free throw line. And you know, I did that countless times.
No good, he missed them both. Wow, those are huge.
I missed the free throws, we lose the game, and I put that on me.
Put the fuel in the plate, folks. We're going back to Boston. Game 6 Tuesday night. The Lakers save their season.
Now I always sit next to him in the locker room, and he looked at me and he said, "My bad." And at that particular time, I was upset because he wasn't Kevin Garnett that night.
You can see it in my demeanor that I was bothered because I was feeling like there's no way I came this far and I had it.
We flew out the next evening. We got to Boston after a long flight. Got here like 11 o'clock p.m.
So we landed, and I went to the practice facility, and I worked out. And I said, I will be ready Game 6. It will be no doubt in anyone's mind that Kevin Garnett is ready to play. Number 5 will be definitely in the building. And I was so motivated off those missed free throws that I didn't sleep. But I knew somebody finna get it.
And we welcome you to Boston for Game 6 of the NBA Finals.
Garnett, over 1,000 games, regular season in the playoffs. Is this the night he gets an NBA championship?
It was a decade worth of stuff, making this way. Everything was 360, it was full circle, you know? I'm here. This is it right here.
Garnett turns, fades, and makes that look easy. KG is locked and loaded tonight.
And we started throwing the ball to him on the inside, and he just established how this game can be played.
Garnett at the basket. Oh, he made an unbelievable shot and a foul! Oh, man. It's a 20-point Celtic lead.
Goes under the basket to Cassell. Garnett ties him up for a jump ball. The Celtics are dominating the Lakers.
Kevin Garnett is like a man out there possessed.
The moment Kevin had been working towards from the very first time he picked up a basketball had finally arrived.
Come off the game and I hugged Doc, and I said, "I'm happy for you, man. I love you, man. Thank you for, you know, giving me the opportunity to be here, and I'm grateful." And then the clock started to tick down, and as I watched, it just seemed like it was forever.
We made it, Mom! Tell me the world! Tell me the world! The final seconds will tick off the clock. 22 years, but the game's original monarchy has regained the throne.
And then finally, when it went off, I sort of got numb, like weak at the knees a little bit. I just melted. The first thing I said is, "Thank you, God," and I went and kissed the floor.
It is banner 17. The mission statement is mission accomplished.
How sweet it is.
I had so much emotion that I couldn't diversify it all. It was just all in one. just think about everybody who I wanted to be there with me that wasn't there.
I thought about South Carolina, and I thought about Chicago, I thought about Minnesota. I thought about personal friends that have been there for me since day one.
NBA champion, how does that sound?
Anything's possible. Anything's possible!
I really felt like when I made it, everybody made it. I felt like when I shed a tear, I felt like so many people shed tears with me because they just understood my pain. They understood the journey. They understood what I had been through.
I got my own. I got my own. I got my own, man. Thank you for everything, man. Thank you for everything, man.
Most people stop when things hurt. Most people turn to start complaining when things don't go their way. You know, if you just stay focused, you know what your true goal is, and stay locked in on that, man, you can accomplish a lot of things. I'm living proof.
Hey, how y'all doing, man? Man, y'all don't know, boys.
You can actually appreciate the ending of a story because you appreciated the struggle.
And you know what? I'm a champion.
It's been a journey, to say the least. But in some ways, I'm beginning a new one. This game is all about moving forward. Shoot, so is life. It's one footprint after another. And just when you think you've made your mark, it's washed away. But I'll be back tomorrow.
Number 17. Congratulations to the Boston Celtics, who showed us that it's about teamwork, unselfish play, and a lot of inspiration. Let's give out the rings.
Number 5, KG, Kevin Garnett.
With the 5th pick in the 1995 NBA draft, the Minnesota Timberwolves select Kevin Garnett from Farragut Academy in Chicago.
He's been so valuable to the growth and development of Kevin Garnett. Almost been like an older brother to him.
The 22-year-old young man is not only carrying the team, he's carrying a city.
Kevin Garnett, who exudes so much emotion. He is their best player, and he is their soul.
Kevin idolized Malik Sealy. As a young player growing up, years later, Malik Sealy joins the team, and they become best friends.
He's a rare combination, the superstar player who is also the consummate team guy.
Lob it to Garnett beneath the foul line. The fadeaway with a hand in his face in the air for the win! Yes, sir! Garnett gives Minnesota the win at Target Center!
Kevin Garnett comes to Boston and the whole attitude of his franchise reinvigorated.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time to raise an unprecedented 17th World Championship banner.